Welcome back to another episode of Sal and Pals Go to the Movies. This is another Throwback Thursday review, and I'm here with my friend Touly. Say hi, Touly.
Hi, guys.
And today we're going to be reviewing Super Mario Bros. From 1993. This was suggested by Roger Lee, so thank you, Roger, for suggesting this movie. And just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. Two Brooklyn plumbers, Mario and Luigi, must travel to another dimension to rescue a princess from the evil dictatorship of King Koopa and stop him from merging the two worlds and taking them over. Let's start off by going down the list with cast members. This movie we have Bob Hopkins playing Mario, John Leguizamo playing Luigi, we have Dennis Hopper playing King Koopa. We have Samantha Mathis playing Daisy. We have Fisher Stevens playing Iggy. We have Richard Edson playing Spike. Let's start off by going down my short prose, I guess. The idea of at the beginning where the logos are coming up and you hear the theme song, the Super Mario theme song, I thought that was pretty good. Back in the day when I was watching, I'm like, I'm going to watch something I'm going to enjoy, which was really short-lived. What they got correct was that they're from Brooklyn. Luigi, they paired him up with Daisy. What else? I think they had a few characters in there. Easter eggs, if you want to say. They had Yoshi, they had Spike and Iggy, which are Koopa's sons, but in this movie they're cousins, which really didn't make sense to me. But I mean, just the fact that the characters were there. Now going on to my cons. At the beginning, all that ad-lib with Mario and Luigi, when we're just seeing them riding through the city and we just hear all this additional dialogue added over the track of them bickering and stuff like that. That didn't sit well with me. That just means that they came up with other lines after they filmed the scenes. The whole story plot, God, where to begin? Story plot is really bad. Also, there could have been more elements of the actual game in here. The question mark boxes, we never saw any of those. We never saw any fire flowers in there. We didn't even see a piranha plant. We didn't see any other characters. For example, the Koompa Troopa. We never saw the Shy Guys. And also the Koopas in this movie were dinosaurs, which I think in the game they're like kind of mixed with mushrooms. Most of these characters were really lacking. Even Koompa himself, like they could have done a better job. Where's the shell? Where's the spikes? You know, they had the spikes in their clothing, but that's not really what we grew up with. If you grew up with Mario, this is really not Mario. And then at the beginning when Daisy comes out of an egg, that kind of really didn't make sense to me because she's the daughter of King Toad, a toadstool. So how is that really relevant to being an egg? Because if toads are fungi, then they're not really come out from eggs. You know, it's like this whole thing that this movie, it feels like somebody who wrote this script was really drunk. It just basically got just greenlit and just film it. What I really kind of paid attention to was the background, just to see Easter eggs. That's the whole point that got me through rewatching this movie, which is looking in the background and see what I could spot or something. And I caught some things that I remember from back in the day. We have the Bullet Bill's bar, which is, you know, Bullet Bill's character, the giant bullet, and there was a movie playing in the background called I Was a Teenager Mammal XXX. So to me that's like a literal like joke in the back, kind of like saying that's like equivalent of porn to them. And then the whole idea of them mispairing them, because there's a scene when they're in a bar, I think this is almost close to the end, when Iggy and Spike lend them some suits and Mario's dressed in a yellow suit and Luigi's dressed in a kind of reddish pinkish suit. Either that got reversed because they were trying to basically say that this is females wear this, so wouldn't Luigi be dressed in yellow because of Daisy and Mario would dressed in pink for Princess Peach? So in a sense, it's like, did these people actually know what they were doing? Did they know what Mario was? I mean, I can go on and on about how bad this movie is, but I'm going to pass it on to Touly and see how he saw this movie.
It stays true to the saying that when video game gets adapted to live films here in America, more often than not, and by more often than not, I'm gonna even put a percentage, let's say 99% of the time, it doesn't get executed very well. Or I should even say well. I thought this film, in trying to correlate with the idea of the Super Mario franchise, all it was trying to do was hit check marks. And as long as certain check marks were met, then they could at least at the end of the movie say, yeah, it was a Super Mario movie because these characters existed, despite how they look, despite their motives, or these certain elements from Super Mario's were there, made you sort of relate to the Super Mario franchise in certain aspects. But the one-to-one correlation of depictions, they weren't there. You already spoke to Spike and Iggy being cousins of King Koopa instead of children. I don't know why they just couldn't make them children of King Koopa, like, what was the motive behind making them cousins? That decision just didn't make sense. Okay, and just to be fair, before I go off on stuff that I don't like about this film any further, let me at least point out a couple of things that I at least appreciated that the film focused on Daisy as the princess, because A, from a personal standpoint, I like Daisy more than Princess Peach, but B, you just get to see a character that you normally don't come across in the Super Mario realm. I mean, or should I say, this is a character that most people wouldn't recognize as being part of the Mario franchise until the later video games of the series. I'm glad that they gave her that spotlight. The other point that I thought I sort of appreciated was Luigi, in terms of how they portrayed him still as being this clumsy character. Some people look at Luigi as not being very dependable because of his goofiness, because of his clumsiness, but I thought this film, though, even though they did do that, they kind of took a little farther than that. He didn't come across as being reliable. Like, he always seemed to be Mario's wingman in a sense, or second-hand man, which of course that's what he's seen in the actual franchise as well. But I thought in this movie they made it seem like to a higher degree that it was the case, because what did Luigi really do until the end of the film that kind of mattered, like where he took out the meteorite piece? It always seemed like to take the back seat, and if it wasn't for Daisy being there, I feel like, because of the relationship that they have already established in the Mario franchise between Daisy and Luigi, I felt like his character would have even fallen even shorter in the film. So that sort of like raised Luigi's quote-unquote contribution to the film. Like, from the start, like, I just didn't feel motivated to root for Luigi at all, because I mean, look at his driving skills. Even, towards the end, when like he just gave up on Daisy because she was like, oh, I need to stay here, and like he just accepted it. It's like, dude, you went through all this trouble and you just let her go? Really? This was your motivation, really? That's, like I said, it wasn't for Daisy, I felt like Luigi would have just even fallen even flatter as a character. Yeah, Mario gets all these cool scenes, like for example when he went to go rescue his girlfriend Daniela, who was kept in this room with all the other ladies that Spike and Iggy have kidnapped. You see him busting into the room and even like doing a drop kick or some sort of kick on that Goomba, which pretty much surprised me, because I mean, a little on the believability side here. He's a plumber. For a guy of his size, I didn't really imagine him being capable of doing something like that on the spot. I found it funny, at the same time not believable when I saw that happen. He got the scene with King Koopa at the end, the stare down with him holding the bomb in his hand, that eventually led to King Koopa getting blown up at the end, which in of itself was absurd because that bomb was walking forever and didn't explode along the way to its final destination. Again, very conveniently placed just to set up that scene. Again, check mark, we see Ba-Am, another character from the Mario franchise, so at least we get that there, so it gives the illusion that this feels like a Mario film. Again, we already have Daisy, Mario, King Koopa, Luigi. We have Toad, who didn't look like a Toad at all, who turns into a Goomba, who, like you said, doesn't look like Goombas at all. To be quite frank, like, none of the characters in the film look remotely as close as to their counterparts. Even when I saw Yoshi, I thought to myself, oh, it's a dinosaur. And then Daisy was like, Yoshi, or was it King Koopa who said Yoshi or whatever? I was like, really? That was Yoshi? So even that took me off guard. But again, hitting that check mark, as long as they say Yoshi and there's some sort of connection to that being Yoshi, then, it gives the illusion that this is a Mario film. So this film just felt like a bunch of check marks. As long as they hit these ideas, then it came across as a Mario film. But for me, despite them taking this route and trying to depict this Mario film, they could have done a better job in less amount of time too. According to Wikipedia here, actually, they list the running time as around 104 minutes. So, for like an hour and 44 minutes film, I would have enjoyed it even more if it was just like an hour and 20-minute film or something, and they did a better job at depicting these characters. I'm not even gonna go into how some of these characters interacted with one another, or the storyline, or how the pacing was, because most of these stuff were just bad altogether. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot for me to say that is good about this, other than what I appreciated about the Daisy character and how they try to portray Luigi in as close as to his counterpart in terms of being clumsy and stuff, but I thought they took it a little too far by making him seem not just clumsy, but unreliable throughout most of the film. But I suppose I digress.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I really enjoyed that they had the character Daisy in there, and like I think I share the same thing with you. Daisy is my favorite character from the franchise. You know, I don't really enjoy Peach, but Daisy is amazing. I think they missed an opportunity right there, having Danielle be called Danielle instead of Pauline. Pauline's the original character that comes out in Donkey Kong. Is the original person that he kidnaps and Mario has to rescue. So I think they missed an opportunity there. For me, that's like, you know, you missed a shot there. Also, they missed the opportunity of having the famous line, sorry, but your princess is in another castle. To me, it would have basically fit perfectly when they're climbing up the tower, I guess, if they would have gone into the room with all the kidnapped ladies, like, sorry, but your princess is in another room or something, you know, kind of like that would have been like a little comic joke. In the same way they introduced Yoshi, I'm like, what the hell? I mean, like, that's not Yoshi. That's actually just a regular dinosaur from like a Jurassic Park movie, you know? To me, Yoshi it's a transportation character, so I would have liked to see somebody riding Yoshi in the city versus him being chained up as a pet. Like I said, this movie had so many missed opportunities. And first of all, I don't even think that it's a missed opportunity because this movie should have never been made the way it was made. And just dropping some behind the scenes information, John Leguizamo, who played Luigi, and Bob, who played Mario, they have come out and said that during the filming of the movie, there were sometimes they on purposely drank before the scenes. So some of the scenes, if you kind of go back and watch it, you can probably tell that they're kind of like not there 100%. And I think that's the reason why they had to ad-lib afterward to redub their voices over some of the scenes. And I don't blame them. If I read the script and this was a script that I was working with, I would basically go in for work drunk all the time. Also, Bob, who played Mario, didn't even know what the movie was about until his son basically saw the script and he said, hey, you're this character from this game, and showed him the actual game. I mean, I think Bob actually came out in an interview saying that by that time he's like, that doesn't even match the script. So, you know, he questioned it, but at the same time, if you're an actor back then, like, you're not going to question it. You're going to be like, hey, at least they're paying me. So he went with it. So I guess with that, let's give it our final grade.
I'll be kind and I'll give it a 3 out of 10.
For me, it's a 3 out of 10. Best thing to do when you're watching this movie, just follow John Leguizamo and Bob. Just get drunk and watch the movie. That's the only way you can do this. So I guess that does it for this review of Super Mario Brothers. Once again, thank you to Roger Lee for suggesting this movie. Please join us next time when we review the movie Clue from 1985. Social media is down in the description to where to find us. Hit that subscribe button, please, and keep watching movies.